What's going on, everybody out in YouTube land, and welcome back to another episode of GBA. In this episode, I'm going to do a recent pickups video because the games are starting to pile up and I really need to get them put away. So yeah, guys, I'm going to show you the games that I've picked up over the last couple weeks. Got quite a few games here, so we're going to move along pretty quickly. I'm going to start out with some of the bigger stuff and then we'll move into the games. So first of all, guys, I'm sure you've seen my video by now. But I picked up a Switch Lite. So yeah, I did a video comparing the Switch Lite to the standard Switch and gave the reasons why I decided to pick up a Switch Lite. So if you guys haven't seen that, please look back and watch that video. I liked the video quite a lot, so I'm sure that you might as well. But yeah, so we got a Switch Lite. And my next pickup is something I've been wanting to get for quite a while, and I'm glad that I finally was able to pick it up. So we have the SNK Neo Geo Mini, and this is the international version, which is basically like the North American version and such. I know they released the Japanese version as well. So yeah, we have the Neo Geo Mini here. And the main reason why I wanted one of these, number one, I really love the Neo Geo. I played the arcade games all the time on my arcade machine, and I think that they made some fantastic games. And I felt like this would go along really, really well with my mini console collection. And to be honest with you, it's not that bad to play. I actually feel like it's pretty comfortable. Of course, it's for short play times. You don't want to play this for hours on end or anything like that. But here's the actual console itself, which is basically like your standard mini arcade machine, which I think is pretty neat. The screen looks good on it. It's got a really crisp screen. You can't really say too much bad stuff about it. The joystick is really nice, but it doesn't do the clickies. So I kind of wish it did do the clickies. If you guys have played Neo Geo machines, you know what I'm talking about. But you got your standard 4 face buttons and your start and stuff like that. In the back, you have where you can plug in your power. You have a HDMI out, which is actually pretty neat because this has controller ports on the side. So you can plug controllers up to this, connect this to your TV, and play on your actual TV with controllers. 2-player. I haven't actually done that, so I don't know how good that is, but it is neat that you have that option. And then last but not least, on the back, you have your power button. So yeah, guys, so that is the Neo Geo Mini. And like I said, very happy to add it to the collection. I've been wanting to for quite a while. Alright guys, so those are the bigger things that I got. So let's move along to the games. As usual, start out with handheld stuff first. So I got all loose Game Boy games here and one Game Boy Color. So I'll just show them all together. So first up, for the Game Boy Color, we have Ultimate Paintball. So, Ultimate Paintball is not really a title I was like super stoked to get, but this came in a lot of 2 games. So the other game is the one that I wanted, and I'll show you guys that one right now. So next up we have Battletoads for the Game Boy. So I'm a big Battletoads fan. I love the NES and the Super Nintendo games. I remember fondly playing Double Dragon and Battletoads when I was a kid. I haven't played the Game Boy version yet, but I'm guessing this is pretty similar to the NES version. And as I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware, they do have a new Battletoads game coming out soon. It's getting crapped on by a lot of people, but it looks pretty good to me. A lot of people are saying the graphics suck, and it does look a lot different, but I don't mind it. The only thing about the game that I saw that I don't like is it looks like it's pretty slow moving. I hope they speed up the gameplay a little bit. But yeah, so we have Battletoads on Game Boy. Alright, next up we have 4 original Game Boy games that I'm definitely happy to add to the collection. We have Mega Man on the Game Boy. We have Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy. We've got Mega Man 3 on the Game Boy. And last but certainly not least, we've got Mega Man 4. So yeah, guys, that's the first 4 games released on the Game Boy, the Mega Man games. I do know that I'm missing the 5th one. That's the last one I need, so I'm in the hunt to pick that one up. Unfortunately, that one goes for a decent amount of money, but I'm sure I'll find a deal somewhere. Alright guys, so that's my handheld games. So let's move right along. Let's show some of the modern consoles first. We'll start with my PS4 game pickups. There's nothing too crazy here. Some of these games I picked up just because they were super cheap. So we'll shoot through these real quick. So for PS4 we have Battleborn. I paid $2 for this. So I don't know anything about this game, but I definitely will play it a little bit and see if I like it. So Battleborn. Another game I paid little to nothing for, we have Star Wars Battlefront. From my understanding, people actually like this one. I know Battlefront 2 got a lot of hate. So we've got No Man's Sky. I've never played this game. I figured it was a good time to step into it because I know they've done a lot of updates. I hope that... I'm pretty sure they have a VR mode now for PSVR, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to get this now to try it in VR, because I think this game would look great in VR. So yeah, No Man's Sky. We've got Paragon. And last but not least, a series of games I absolutely love, we have Ratchet and Clank. I started playing these on the PS2 and I absolutely love these games. Kind of like a 3D platformer action game. If you guys like that kind of stuff and you haven't played Ratchet and Clank, please do. You won't be disappointed. Alright guys, let's do the Switch next. Looks like I got about 4 Switch games to show you guys here. So first up, from Limited Run Games, we have Iconolast. Don't know too much about this game, but definitely happy to add it to the Switch collection. So next up, a game that I absolutely love. If you guys have not played this, you should, especially if you like 80s and 90s racers. It's Horizon Chase Turbo. I had no clue they released physical versions of this until like 2 weeks ago. And when I found out they had released physical versions of this, I had to get it right away. This is very arcadey, and like I said, it's definitely a lot like your 80s and 90s racing games, just with updated graphics, and it looks beautiful on the Switch. So next up, a game that I just got in the mail, we have River City Girls. So I've been looking forward to this one a lot. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game, and it's kind of a pseudo-sequel to River City Ransom on the NES, so definitely happy to add this. And Limited Run actually put in a soundtrack CD for it too, so that's really neat. I wasn't expecting the soundtrack at all, so definitely pretty cool here. And last but certainly not least, is a game that I've been waiting for a while. This is a Limited Run game too, and this one got delayed for quite a while. We have Celeste. The reason why they delayed this game is because they were waiting to put the last DLC content on the physical version, which I can't fault them for, and I'm glad that we got that. So yeah, guys, Celeste on the Nintendo Switch. And if you guys haven't never played this game, it's fantastic. For an indie game, this game almost won Game of the Year. At least it was competing for it. So yeah, Celeste for the Nintendo Switch. So definitely some good Switch games there. Alright guys, so let's move on. I think I pretty much just got retro systems left. So we'll show the PS1 first. So I've only got 4 games for the PS1 here, and nothing too crazy. So first up we have Monopoly. I've already got this game, but I got these 4 games in a lot, and I got them for a pretty good deal. So, I mean, if I get a duplicate here and there, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, Monopoly. We have 007 Tomorrow Never Dies. I like all of the 007 games pretty much. I haven't played that one, but looking forward to trying it. We have Midway presents Arcade Greatest Hits, the Atari Collection 1. So I'm a big fan of any of these compilation discs. Anytime they can put a bunch of old arcade games on a CD, I'm always happy about that. So happy to add that. And the game I wanted most out of this little lot of PS1 games, we have Bust-A-Move 4 on the PlayStation. So I'm a fan of puzzle games in general, but the Bust-A-Move games, I really like these. And this was in like new condition, so definitely happy to get it. And I picked up these 4 games together. I ended up paying about $3 a piece for them, so you can't beat that. So definitely happy to add these to the collection. Alright, moving right along, let's show some PS2 game and some GameCube games. I only picked up one PS2 game, and we have Serious Sam Next Encounter. So I've heard a lot of good things about the Serious Sam games, so I'm looking forward to playing this. I only put it in for a few minutes, so I don't really know too much about it, but it does look like a good game, so definitely happy to have that. So for GameCube, we have Cabela's Outdoor Adventures. I mean, just a filler title, but I didn't have it, so it was cheap, so happy to add it to the collection. And last up for the GameCube, we have Mega Man Network Transmission. So yeah, those are the games that I added to my PS2 and GameCube collection. Probably Mega Man is the best game that I picked up, but these are not my favorite Mega Man games. I'm sure I've said that before. I kind of like the traditional Mega Man games the most, but yeah, super happy to add these to the collection. Alright guys, let's move on. We'll show you the 2 Nintendo 64 games that I picked up. So first up, and I got the manual with this one too. I didn't even know it was coming with the manual. We have Tetrisphere. So I'm a Tetris nut. I have Tetris on everything, including VR, which is great. If you guys haven't played Tetris Effect in VR, you should. But yeah, so Tetrisphere for the Nintendo 64. And next up for the Nintendo 64, we have Doom 64. Man, my childhood. I spent a lot of time on Doom on the PC when I was a kid, and the Nintendo 64 version is not bad. It's not perfect, but I mean, it's fun and it's accessible on the Nintendo 64. So yeah, Doom 64. Looking really forward to the new Doom game coming out. Alright, so moving along, let's show some Super Nintendo games next. Once again, I only got 2 games for the Super Nintendo. So we have Young Merlin. I don't know anything about Young Merlin. It's just a game I didn't have, so I picked it up when I saw it. And next up, from what I've been hearing, this is actually a pretty fun game. I haven't played it. I just put it in to see if it worked. But we have Cybernator. But that's one of the great things about having a game collection is you don't have to play all these games right away. Whenever you're ready, they're just sitting on your shelf waiting to go. So yeah, Cybernator for the Super Nintendo. Alright guys, moving on, we'll show the NES games next. So I picked up 5 NES games here. So first up we have Air Fortress. Next up, we have Super C. So the story behind this, I already had Super C, but my copy stopped working, so I had to pick up another one. So definitely happy to get this back again. Next up, we have Hudson Hawk. It's a game I didn't have, and I don't see these last 3 games all the time, so I'm definitely happy to get it. Next up, we have Crystallis, which is a fantastic game on the NES. You should definitely play this one if you haven't. And last up, another game I don't see very often, we've got Clash Ball. Alright guys, so those are my NES games that I've added in the last couple weeks. So next up I will show Sega Master System and Sega CD games. The reason why I haven't been picking up a lot of Nintendo games is because I've been going crazy on Sega Master System and Sega CD, having a great time collecting for these two systems and playing the games. So let's go ahead and show Sega Master System first. I got some great games for the Master System. So first up we've got Cloud Master. Alright, we've got Alex Kidd, The Lost Stars. I had a guy tell me today that this is not like the first Alex the Kid game, but he said they're still fun to be had, so I'm excited to try this one out. Alright, next up we have Time Soldiers. So I haven't had time to play this one yet, but you know, the back of it kind of looks like the gameplay is similar to like Mercs or Ikiri Warriors. So definitely happy to have this and excited to put it and try it. Alright, next up we have, and this is like one of the very few times I actually bought a loose copy of a game for the Sega Master System. And the reason why is because I was having trouble finding an American version of this complete. So I basically just used a like a replacement case and printed out some artwork for it. So for the Master System, we have Psycho Fox. And this is actually one of the I'm guessing this is one of the rarer versions of this because they actually had a run where they misspelled the name. So this game is actually missing the H in Psycho. So if you look close enough, you might be able to see that if my camera's good enough to show it. But yeah, I'm really happy to add Psycho Fox to the collection. It's one that I've been looking to get, and it's a really fun game. I mean, you know, especially since it's I love platformers, so I'm a sucker for them. So there's the cover artwork that I printed out and the replacement case that I put it in. So yeah, definitely happy to add this, and one of the rare occasions I got a game that wasn't at least in the case. I don't need complete in box, but I definitely want the game and the case for Sega CD and Sega Master System unless I can't find it, and then I'll do this. Alright guys, for the Master System, we have Shinobi. And last but not least on the Master System, one of my favorite arcade games when I was a kid. And if I would have known about the Sega Master System back when I was a child, I would have bugged my parents to get me one just for this game. We have Golden Axe for the Sega Master System. So yeah, like I said, this was one of my favorite arcade games when I was a kid. I actually used to have the stand-up arcade for this, but since I sold it not too long ago. But yeah, definitely happy to have Golden Axe on the Sega Master System. This is not a great port of the game by no means, but it is fully playable, and it's kind of crazy what they were able to fit on this cartridge and get out of the Master System back then. So definitely happy to add Golden Axe to the collection. Alright, so next up we will move on to Sega CD games. And Sega CD is probably the system I picked up the most games for. So let's start out showing some of the lesser titles, and then I'll show some of the better games at the end. So first up we've got FIFA International Soccer. Then we have NFL Greatest, San Francisco versus Dallas, 1978 through 1993. All right, so next up we have Ground Zero Texas. This has a lot of hilarious cutscenes in it. Alright, so next up we have AH3 Thunderstrike. Pretty fun little game. Alright, so this was a disc-only copy of this game, and I printed out artwork and put it in a DVD case. We have Chuck Rock. So yeah, like I said, I printed out this artwork and put it in a DVD case. I got a good deal for the disc-only copy, and I have Chuck Rock 2 on the Sega CD and love that game, so I wanted to pick this one up. So there's the actual game right there that I picked up. Like I said, the disc was in great shape and it was a good deal, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that. And I think this game only came in the cardboard boxes, which I'm really not a big fan of, because it's hard to find those in good shape, and it's also hard to keep them in good shape. Alright, so moving right along, we have Soul Feast, which I'm not really totally 100% sure, but I'm guessing this was a pack-in game at some point in time, and that's why it came in, you know, this kind of case or whatnot, but still need to add it. I like any shoot-'em-up shmups. Shoot-'em-ups are one of my favorite games categories, so I'm definitely happy to get this. So next up we have Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. But this also has the Sega Classics in it. So the Sega Classics is Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Golden Axe. So those are 4 really good games. So yeah, there's the 2 CDs. So definitely happy to add this. I've been looking for this for a little while in good shape. Next up, this one is actually missing the manual, but I got a great deal, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this. Now, I did get the manual, and it's being shipped to me, but unfortunately I don't have it yet, so I can't really show it with the manual. But for the Sega CD, we have They. So I've heard that They is a really good RPG game, so I'm definitely looking forward to giving it a try and seeing if I get sucked into it. I'm not the biggest RPG fan, but if the game really gets me sucked in, then I can put a lot of time in it. So yeah, happy to add They to the collection. So next up we have WWF Rage in the Cage. I was really happy to get this because I absolutely love 90s wrestling games. So definitely a good get right here. And this game looks good, it plays pretty good, and it's got a good roster. So happy to have it. Next up we have a game that I've been looking to pick up for a little while. We have The Adventures of Batman and Robin. So from what I'm understanding, this is a lot different than the other 16-bit console versions. So definitely excited to give this a try. And I used to love the Batman cartoon back in the early to mid-90s. So yeah, definitely happy to have that. And last but certainly not least for the Sega CD, we have a fantastic fighting game. We have Samurai Showdown. So definitely happy to get this. I've been looking to add this since I started collecting the system. So yeah, Samurai Showdown on the Sega CD. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for my pickups over the last couple weeks. I want to say thank you so much for sticking through this video and watching it. If you haven't yet, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would help out the channel a whole lot. And if you like this content and you know somebody else who might like it, please share the video around. I would greatly appreciate it. And at the end of this video, I do want to do a shout out for a channel that I watch a lot. Every time they release a video, I definitely watch it as soon as I can. but it's TNT Game Zone. If you guys haven't watched these guys, they are absolutely hilarious. They put out great content and they're super entertaining. So please go check out TNT Game Zones. And I know currently, as of filming this video, they're doing a giveaway for their 100 subscribers. And that video is funny as can be. So definitely go check out TNT Game Zones if you guys haven't. Hopefully they comment down below so you have like an easy way to click on their avatar and go to their channel. So yeah guys, I think I'm going to go play some games. And until next time guys, I guess I will see you later.